The film begins during a fierce rainstorm with a close-up of a sign that reads Rashomon, the Japanese word for a type of large citygate. Images of rain falling from roof gutters, pouring through a dilapidated roof, and cascading down stone steps set the foreboding tone as the credits roll. A wide shot of the citygate reveals that only about half of its previously splendid roof is still standing. Under one section of the crumbling structure are two men, a woodcutter and a priest. The woodcutter is sitting and the priest is kneeling, both look intensely out into the storm. The woodcutter murmurs, "I don't understand. I just don't understand." The priest gazes at him but remains silent, and both men continue to survey the heavy rain. In the distance, a commoner suddenly stomps barefoot through the mud toward the citygate and ascends the stairs into the structure. As the commoner dries himself with a cloth, he overhears the woodcutter repeat the same words, "I don't understand," and approaches him. After listening to his words, the commoner asks the woodcutter what it is that he doesn't understand. When the woodcutter tells him about a strange story, the commoner entreats him to tell it, especially given the presence of a priest who could provide counsel. The priest's darkly pessimistic response to this suggestion makes the commoner realize that both men have already heard the story before. The priest explains that he heard the story in a courthouse, and that it involved a man's murder. These details cause the commoner to cynically dismiss the story as ordinary, and that 5 or 6 unidentified corpses probably lay on top of the citygate in which they currently sit. The priest acknowledges the range of natural and man-made disasters which have befallen mankind, and the scores of ugly deaths he has personally witnessed, but still maintains never having heard a story as horrible as this one. The woodcutter agrees that the story is horrible, and the priest and the woodcutter exchange numb, blank glances. The camera zooms in on the priest as he dramatically pronounces that the story may cause him to finally lose his faith in the human soul, deeming the story to be worse than bandits, the plague, famine, fire, or war. The commoner interrupts to chide the priest for sermonizing too much, and remarks that he only asked to hear the story because it sounded like an entertaining diversion during the storm. The commoner wanders off and rips a plank of wood off one side of the citygate, attempting to fashion something out of it before the woodcutter excitedly approaches him again. The woodcutter proposes telling him the story, in case the commoner might be able to tell the woodcutter what it means. The woodcutter alludes to not understanding any of those three, and when the commoner asks him what he means, the woodcutter sits beside him and prepares to tell his tale. Both men look up toward the sky, and the commoner remarks that the storm does not look like it will stop anytime soon. An exterior shot shows the Rashomon sign once more. The camera pans to show the rainwater pouring through the half-destroyed roof of the citygate, under which the woodcutter and the commoner sit in a dry area around the broken plank of wood. Further away behind them, the priest also sits, looking at them. The woodcutter starts by telling the commoner that the story he is about to tell begins 3 days previously, when he went into the mountains to get wood.